Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be back with another edition of our 5-ish minutes with Heavy on the Ish now, sharing ambassador stories from women in our community. And I'm so thrilled to have one of my friends, one of my most favorite people on this planet, Monika Nielsen, here to talk about like what being a Stella and Dot ambassador has been, what it has meant to her life, and just a little bit about like how she got here and all the good things. So I'm excited to shine light on Monika because she's amazing. And I'm just gonna start. I feel so formal, like, you know, I feel like we're so formal right now. I'm like, we just need to talk. So anyway, but I'm so excited for the next few moments because y'all are in for a treat. So I want to first start, like, just tell us, like, paint the picture of you and your life, like, you know, kind of what your life is like today.
My life is like,
yes.
My life is fun. It is, gosh, so I'm a mom of 3. Our oldest is 22 and then 16 and then 8. Mm-hmm. And we've homeschooled for 18 years. So, you know, that has been my primary focus is the education of our children. And when Ian was born, our youngest was born, it was a little bit nutty. And my husband said, you got to go find something to do. Like you need to start like you have got to get out. And this business like literally fell in my lap. So it's, that was the, you know, oh so glamorous start, of, you know, my journey. So yeah, we're here in Colorado, God's country, beautiful, and been married for 25 years. And I work a lot with nonprofits and local organizations here in Denver, and, you know, just find the things that you love to do and keeps you busy.
And no one does it better than you, because
thank you.
You really are. You're such a role model for me. I mean, I just, you know, I think we're about the same age. We have kids that, I mean, my kids are kind of around the same age as Lauren.
Yep.
And I always like think of just, oh, well, like Monika like knows what's up because she's a little bit ahead of me in this, and you just
just a little bit,
just a few years.
Just a little. It's a duck. It's a lot under the surface, and most of the time it's smooth sailing.
Isn't that like everything about life? Like
pretty much
always the highlight reel and I mean, not even always, it's rarely the highlight reel, but it's, right. You know, but it's all the beautiful moments and the messy moments and all of that pulled together. So,
amen.
Okay. So next question, how long have you been with Stella and Dot? And, like, how did you said you stumbled into it. So like what?
Yeah. Funny story. So yeah, I started 7 years ago and I had never heard of the company. I went to a girlfriend's house. She was having a thing, right? And this gal showed up with probably 6 pieces of jewelry. She had just started and not really, you know, had no idea, but it really fell in love with the Petra bracelet. It was so pretty.
Oh, that was pretty, yeah.
And I thought, I can't pull like that much money out of our family budget for a bracelet. I felt like really, like that wasn't a really good move. And then, so I bought a little necklace and then moved on. And then a year later, we were at a charity event and someone had donated a gift card. And I bid on it. And so I got a $100 gift card for $75. Mm-hmm. So I got very excited because then I knew I could get that bracelet. And so I went online to redeem it. They had a sign-up special, you know, $199, you get $450 in product. I'm like, well, that would be irresponsible not to do that.
Be tragic if I didn't do that.
That would be ridiculous. Like I'm already halfway there with my gift card. So I just signed up, and the gal who donated the gift card called me the next day and kind of walked me through it a little bit. She lives about an hour away. She offered to do a show. She said, you know, invite your girlfriends. I'll bring everything down. She literally bought like 700 pieces. Mm-hmm. It was so overwhelming. It looked like a boutique. And then that was it. And then she packed up. We had a great show. And then she packed up and she left. I'm like, okay, well, that was cool. And then that was really about it. So it started off as a slush fund. It started off, I told my husband, I said, okay, I had 2 things. I'll try to stay in the black. Like I'll try really hard. And I won't buy anything that I won't wear because that seems silly. Because when I talked to this gal, there was so much And she's like, oh, I don't wear all this. I'm like, well, that's dumb. Why you have it? Right. So that was my
Oh
two
my God,
parameters. And then, I'd, sell a few things here and there just based on wearing it, and people, thought it was cute. And then I would talk about it. And again, it was the slush fund for shoes or for girls' weekends. That's how it started for several years, like incredibly part-time, like the most part-time I think you could be.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I love how over the years you have made it work for you at different, just like it really has just been fun. It's been a fun girls weekend when we have our conferences, and it's been, it was, last year that I'm just going to brag on you, but it really was just, I mean, I'll never forget. It was like, don't be a psycho. Like that was the moment. It was just, don't be a psycho. Don't be a psycho in this business. And that's truly, I think, the philosophy of like, a lot of us in our team, because you can get like, in this industry, you can sometimes get a little crazy with all of the things that you could potentially do and achieve. And, and it was just, you're just such a very honest and relaxed and authentic way of working with people and talking to people. And then naturally they came along, and you have some amazing women that you have since brought in, and it was like one of the most natural, textbook perfect situations, because the timing was right, and it wasn't for lack of work and effort. Like by saying don't be a psycho, it doesn't mean that work doesn't happen, but you make it, you make it feel right for you. And because I think in this industry, a lot of times you can get that kind of a bad rap, or like there's all these like limiting beliefs that others may have about this, and it's like, no, like it's really cool. Like what we do is just cool. We get to share fun stuff, and it's great.
Right. Absolutely. My kids laugh because nut job is a favorite term in our house. Like, don't be a nut job. But you and I last summer, when I was getting a little spun up, like it's very easy to get wrapped around the axle about things, especially with a really big goal, or you have a time frame sometimes in which to do things. But if you are psychotic about it, you lose what makes you and the fun that it is.
Exactly.
And then you just turn into a nut job, and nobody wants that. So.
Right, exactly. So don't be a psycho.
Don't be a psycho. I forgot to make our t-shirts.
We've got time now. So
I need to get on that.
I know. I'll be waiting. So,
okay.
So after you, like in your journey or when you enrolled, like, was there something that like surprised you, or that was an unexpected gift, or something that, just that you didn't expect coming out of being a part of Stella and Dot that you'd like to share?
There's been so many. I remember pretty early on, I had a friend literally asked me to come to her house and set up. And I was like, oh yeah, I should have been talking about this. I should have asked you earlier. Whoops. And there was a gal there that she had put on a necklace, and her eyes just got really misty. And she said, I feel really pretty. I feel really pretty. And it really touched me, because I realized that there's a lot of times we don't, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's a past story that we're telling ourselves, whether, we just had a baby, we just had it, whatever it is, you just don't always feel pretty. And I realized the power of a silly little necklace or some fun accessory. It can make you feel pretty. It can make you feel powerful. You put something big on and you're like, God, I feel like kind of a badass right now in this necklace, and your shoulders go back and you stand a little straighter, and you can, walk in that room and project yourself completely different. Mm-hmm. And it seemed ridiculous that was the power of an accessory. And then the more I played around with it, the more I absolutely meant that. So that was an early one, which was really nice, because then I realized, I'm like, this is so not about me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not about me at all. And I'm not selling a, $59 necklace. Yeah. I'm giving someone an opportunity to really feel beautiful, maybe for the first time in a while. Yeah. And that is, I don't know. See, now I can't even come up with a word. You just can't put a price on it. You can't you can't wrap your head around that. It
Yeah,
was just, it was very powerful.
it can feel like, I mean, I know I felt this, you know, you just kind of, you think about it sometimes. It's like, oh, okay, well, you know, yeah, I have cute jewelry and, you know, it may sometimes feel frivolous and it's fun. It's totally fun. And we
For
obviously
sure.
need the fun in our life and we need the joy and all of the things that this can provide. But I think that you don't realize that that frivolity that you think it might be could actually, it sounds crazy to think that it's something transformative for somebody else.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I always like say, you know, I always think, and you do, I mean, accessories can transform anything. Yeah, it can
For
transform your
sure.
look, but it truly can transform how somebody feels about themselves. And, you know, I remember early on when I was doing this business and my boys were like 1 and 4 and I was still in knee deep in diapers and, you know, end of toddlerhood-ish, you know, and one of the things I was like, you know, I never really, what I loved so much in the early days was that I never got like, high five, you just like rocked changing that diaper. And, you know, and coming into the community, it wasn't something that I necessarily knew that I needed or was craving. And not that I need it, but you know what I mean? Like it was just an added perk. And
Right.
you see that in others through like, you know, oh my gosh, you could rock these statement earrings. They're like, oh, you really think I can? Like, cause I think we help women overcome like some limiting beliefs they may have about themselves. Like I could never wear hoops that big. I'm like, well, yes, you can, try them on. So
Oh, absolutely. I
yeah,
never wore anything bigger than this, like little tiny pieces.
yeah,
And I remember seeing the bigger pieces. I'm like, oh, that's crazy town. Like, that's not going to happen.
yeah.
Until you put one on, you're like,
Oh,
oh, well,
yeah, I know.
looking fancy. So it's, you know, we run around in our head too much anyway. So it's nice to play and have fun with something that can really change the way you feel.
For sure, for sure.
Yep, for
Okay.
sure.
So, what is something that the income you have earned from your?
Oh gosh.
I think I know your
So
answer.
go.
I love it. So,
I know going from slush fund, doesn't matter income, to 2 years ago, my husband got laid off very unceremoniously on a phone call on the way home from work. And we freaked out for about 10 minutes. And then I said, oh my gosh, I literally I have a business that I could, you know, create an income with and hit the ground running. And that took off a huge burden. You know, we didn't have to pull a ton of money out of savings. And quite frankly, the savings wouldn't have lasted as long as he was out of work. So it was, that was a switch that was flipped for me, but it was a awfully fun place to be once I got into it a little bit more. And then that's what, you know, took me to the year that I had when, you know, little incentives went from, you know, oh, I want that bag to I could actually go to Mexico. Okay, this is not bad, right? I could bring some people along for the fun. I could, you know, work this business in its entirety. And it was still fun. It wasn't the job. It was still a fun thing. I just worked harder. So, which is clearly the way it's supposed to work. When you work hard, then you actually get rewarded for it. So what a concept, right?
yeah.
And then just recently we went on a trip with my kiddos. I know we went to South Dakota and did Mount Rushmore, and I just surprised my kids, blew their mind, and we went on a helicopter tour of Mount Rushmore. And I'm usually fairly frugal by nature. And they were like, Mom, are you sure? Oh my gosh, you sure? I'm like, you know what? I have money and we're going to do something like so outrageously fun that you'll remember this for the rest of your life. So it was really quite fantastic. They screamed all the way up the hill as we turned into the little place and drove up. They're like, ah, we're going on a helicopter. So
That's so awesome. Well, it's funny. It's those, you know, like something as special and as memory making is that this can do. And like you said, when you needed
yes.
income, which, you know, in the time that we're having this conversation,
oh my gosh, right?
where a lot of people are right now, there's either job loss, job insecurity, job, you know, furloughs, or other things that may be happening where, or just a realization that, you know, maybe I do need like a fun, something that I can earn some extra cash just to have have a slush fund at least right now,
Right.
or to just be, you know, or even some people like, you know what, now that things have slowed down, maybe I can actually get out of debt, or I can do other things. I think there's a wide range of that. And I love that you have really both sides of the story to tell
Yes.
on that for many people out
For
there.
sure. Well, and realizing that $300 is life changing. I mean, that is like a significant chunk of money for, quite frankly, not a ton of
Right.
work. So to start off small with something that can reward you so large, is I think what most people miss. So,
Sure.
and then you just, you know, work as hard as you want to for what you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. This could be the toughest question. What's your favorite piece or product?
That's really hard. So when I started and I said, I'm not going to have anything that I can't sell, because I was going to be a smart business person, and I let go a lot of things that I loved. And so now I'm keeping the things that I absolutely love. Jewelry aside, I'm not sure I could pick. These seem to be a favorite. I've probably worn these 4 times this week. But my Ever Regiment is probably a cannot do without. Absolutely. The skincare is above and beyond. And I've tried many, from way up high to, I was never really way low in the price point for skincare because I knew what you put on your body was important, but hands down, I can't leave home without it kind of a stuff.
Yeah.
As far as sparkly things, I'm a fan of the Pegasus earrings for sure. I know they're just so pretty, and I think they embody the craftsmanship that sets us apart. That, you know, you've got someone sewing every little single solitary petal on, and it makes me prouder than ever to know that they were paid fairly and are working in amazing conditions. I have a product that was handmade and beautiful. Like, I feel like that's like the key. Like, those pieces are kind of everything that S&D is about.
Absolutely. It's our heritage. It's the history. And
absolutely. It's just really beautiful pieces.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good choices.
Oh, thank you.
All of the above. So, okay. I guess the last thing that I just look to you as such a source of wisdom and calm, like a lot. Like, I don't know. You just have, you just are. People can tell that about you right now. So,
thank you.
What, like, final, as we wrap this up, like, words of advice, just philosophy about things? I mean, we have "Don't be a psycho," which we should just hashtag it, you know,
for real.
Just do the t-shirts, like, for everybody. But besides that, any like lasting like thoughts before we
oh goodness
sign off?
You didn't prep me for this one. I would say a couple of things. I would say get out of your head as soon as you possibly can. And then I would also say the you do you that we really stand behind is find your space. You know, my space is with different nonprofits and giving and giving opportunities for people to serve. And other, like, I just watch how everybody does it differently with a platform that allows for things to be 1,000 times easier, as if you decided, oh, I think I want to go open a boutique around the corner. So find your space and what makes your heart sing with our platform, and then get out of your head, and then just start, you know, smiling and sharing and figure out Mimi as fast as you can.
Yeah. I know.
And then I think you're set. I think so
too. All right. I know we could keep talking forever,
yes.
But I will save that for myself. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for asking me.
I'm so, I just adore you. So thank you very much for sharing this. And I just value you as a person and as a friend. And I think that is, to me, like, the hands down biggest blessing that me, like, joining forever ago brought, because it's people like you that have come into.
Oh, thank you. Back at you, sister.
Oh, yes.
Back at you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.